Hi, this is Lori. I'm doing my second journal of the class on my intervention that I'm using with my student. We're calling him Ivan. That's not actually his real name. And I am using functional communication training in order to help him improve his ability to communicate his needs and be more successful in academic tasks. Thus far, it's been going well. I established baseline data. He is completing a task that takes about 12 minutes. He's spending 3 minutes working on it over the course of 3 days. That's an average time. So you can see he's only doing about 25% of the work of every other student in my class. And it's a daily practice designed to improve math fluency, so the practice piece is important. The behavior that he shows is he avoids eye contact, he yells no, and then he just refuses to work. And thus far, it's not really been effective. Things I've tried to get him to be less aversive to that task. It's not the only subject in which he has this behavior. It happens in any math-related activity. It also happens when he's asked to read aloud, when we're doing phonemic awareness as a group, and it goes into the speech room when he's doing small group speech therapy. He has similar behaviors. So the goal is to teach him how to use a break card or use his words to ask for a break in order to help him calm down and refocus and then improve his amount of work completed. In order to assure fidelity of implementation, the speech and language pathologist, the behavior intervention aide on campus, and the instructional aide and I all did the functional communication training together and went over the plan together so that we were all on the same page with how we were going to phrase things and what we were going to do. We talked about level of prompting. We talked about tone of voice. We talked about what to do should the behavior become more aggressive in trying to avoid the task. And then we started our intervention. And I started it the first day. The second day, after realizing, well, a couple things. One, I decided I needed longer for the break, to offer for the break, because I was doing it for 1 minute, and that wasn't enough time for him to kind of like calm and re-engage before I introduced the task. And so he kept asking for another break and another break and another break. And he ended up asking for 10 breaks. And I went, this is not helping. So I talked with my team, and we decided to increase the break time to 3 minutes with the stipulation that he could choose a quiet activity that was not a computer game, because that would have been taking him off task and rewarding, we felt like, a little bit too much. So we gave him the opportunity to just take a 3-minute quiet break, and that did seem to help. So the second day we switched it to 3 minutes, and knowing that it was then might be longer than I would have within my class day to really see it all the way through, I enlisted the BSA aide on campus to kind of back me up and take over if I needed to deal with other things in the classroom. So the first day it was just me. The second day it was me and the BSA. The third day it was just the BSA. The fourth day we were, I purposely had the BSA work with my instructional aide so that she could get practice. And then the 5th time, my instructional aide did it on her own, and I just observed. Overall, what I saw was a slow increase in the amount of time he was spending engaged. It still takes him about twice as long as everybody else to do the same assignment, but it's getting done, which is more than I could have said pre-intervention when it was not getting done at all. He was spending just like 3 out of 12 minutes on it. So now it's completing, even though it's taking longer. And he went from needing a verbal and a physical prompt to use the I need a break card or request a break. And after 5 sessions, he is using the break card or the verbal I need a break prompt independently without us having to prompt him, which is awesome because that means we're not seeing the negative behavior. He's just like realized if he just says, I need a break, then he can have a few minutes and then he kind of can get back to it. And there's no negative consequence attached to it. So it seems to be working well for him. We're going to continue doing it within the reflex math time for another week, maybe 2. And then depending on how he does, we'll transition the I need a break card into probably reading aloud in my classroom. And then also the speech teacher really struggles with him in group. So we included her in on this so that she can then transition this into her environment in small group speech. I think that's it. I think I talked about fidelity of implementation, training, details about what we're doing. Did I say we're doing functional communication training? I hope I did. Yeah, so we are helping Ivan use an equivalent communication behavior that replaces the inappropriate behavior in order to avoid the task of academics that he are non-preferred, definitely. So I am seeing some positive changes as a result of my intervention, and I'm really happy about that. This concludes Journal 2. Thank you.